The beauty of the barbell retirement plan in action. Man, my friends, I tell you, look, I'm not retired. I'm still making money as an employee, i.e. I'm my own employee and employer. So I'm not living off my portfolio. And somewhat, I do not practice what I preach because, like I said, I'm still earning a paycheck, i.e. through my business. But I've been a financial planner for many a moons, and I'm just telling you right now, the best plan is always the barbell. And the reason for that is because you put enough in cash in which to be resilient. So when days like today and this week, this 3 weeks, who knows how forever long, we've had 50% drops. This happened one time after the Great Depression. One time, that was in 2007 to 2009, but we had 48% drop in 2000 to 2002. All the way up through March of 2003, which I just did a video on. But anyway, the issue that we have here, the faster the better. That's all there is to it. I'm telling you, the faster the better, because what happens is, this is why I don't like taking money on monthly, like reverse dollar cost averaging. Should I take my distribution out at one time, or should I do it over bits and pieces? Just take it out one time, be done with it, because if the markets fall, then you've already got your cash on hand, right? And if the markets go up, well, you're not going to take advantage of that. But when you're drawing assets down, the risk is not missing the upside. The risk is getting killed on the down, which is what we're going through right now. So for those who are getting a 30% curb stomp, all right, you're sitting there saying, man, I'm glad I got cash because I don't have to sell stocks in which to live on. Let's just say we go down another 20%, just for simplicity. You had 80,000 in your portfolio, 20,000 in cash. You're living off 5,000 a year. Well, the 80,000 in your portfolio is down to 40,000. We'll just say by the year end. Well, your 20,000 in cash is down to 15. You're not touching that 80. That what was 80 now is 40. All right. So if a market drops 50% in one fell swoop, 1 year, which again has never happened, but just say it did. I mean, it did fall 50%, but that was in 2007 to 2009. That was 18 months. So it never happened, one 50% decline, but just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't. So even then you're saying, okay, well, now I got to take another 5,000 out the next year. Now I don't want to take it from an account that was 80, now it's down to 40. So now I'm going to take it again from my barbell plate, which is the cash plate. And when I say cash, folks, I'm talking cash, Ginnie Mae, and CDs. I'm taking it from there. So the market gets killed, you're down to $40,000 in the stocks, and the other plate of the barbell is down to $15,000 because you took that $5,000 out. All right, so you had a $5,000 redemption from the one cash plate. Your $80,000 fell 50%, so now you're down to $40,000. All right, what the following year would be, well, who knows? Maybe it goes up 10%. I mean, usually when it gets killed that much, it goes up a lot more. But all right, now you're up to $44,000. You take another $5,000 from the cash plate of the barbell. Now you're down to $44,000 in the cash plate and the stock plate, $10,000 in the cash plate. Market goes up another 10,000. Again, I think it would go up more than that, but just hear me out. So now you're up to, what's for simplicity, $50,000 in the barbell plate, the stock plate of the barbell, and you got to take another 5,000 out of the cash plate. All right, so now you're down to 50,000 and 5,000. All right, I mean it sucks, but now you say, okay, what's going to happen to that $50,000? Even if it goes up another 10%, again, not likely, because usually the markets don't go just a simple 10%, but you're still up to $55,000 at that point, and now you're exhausted in the cash play of the barbell. All right, well, you're 4 years in now. All right, 4 years in, you're back at 55 and 0. Well, now you're just living off the stocks. I mean, if that's the worst thing that ever happened, that's not great, but I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, again, the idea that you go down 50% and only up 10, essentially 30%, not very likely, but it could. I mean, who knows about this? Either way, though, you allow the cash perspective to give you the reprieve from having to sell on the downside, and you're back up on the positive side, relatively speaking, from where you were at 40,000. You're back up to $15,000. You're back up $15,000 from the 40, which means that's 3 years of income. That's 3 years of income you just made back up. All All right, so now you're down, you got to take 5% out. Well, that's 5% on a $55,000. That's 10%. Sucks, right? So now you're at $50,000. You have no cash. So you got to take $5,000 out. You were at $55,000. Now you got to take $5,000 out. You're at $50,000 of cash, $50,000 of stocks, and no cash. Right? You got to take 5% off, or 5,000, which is 10%. You're like, oh, I can't do that. Well, now the market goes up 15% or 10%, or it goes out. We don't know. But I mean, the alternative is what? That's the issue that we have here. That is not the ideal scenario. Trust me, it's not. But that's the beauty of it, because never in history have we ever had to deal with this scenario, ever, where you have 50% decline followed by 3 consecutive up years of 10. We've never had to deal with that ever. So I don't think that's very likely. That's odds I'm willing to live with for sure. I think what's more likely is that market goes down 50%, which again has happened one time since the Great Depression. Now your $80,000 is down to $40,000, and then the market comes booming back for the next 3 years. That would be more likely to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. You don't know if that's going to happen. But that's the best strategy there is, because we want to make sure you don't sell when the market is getting trounced. And the way to do that is to have enough cash on the side. Is there a better way? No, there is no better way, because when the markets are down 50%, the only better way is for you never to have been in the market. And I just don't think that's smart, because the interest rates are so low. You still got to pay tax if it's retirement accounts too. You got to get growth, man. I mean, that doesn't mean you get growth at all costs, but you got to get growth. And this is why having 4 years of cash in your barbell plate, it just makes sense. Again, that scenario I just painted is a worst case scenario. I mean, and I say that facetiously, because worst case scenario is we all get killed by coronavirus or the North Korean nukes or whatever Trump, he doesn't know what he's doing. So whatever the issue is of the day, that's always worst case scenario. But what I'm trying to say with you in terms of financial planning and retirement planning, the worst case scenario is what I just shared with you. And even then, after 6 years, right, you have $50,000. You started with 100, you still have $50,000 after the worst case scenario, after spending $30,000 of income to meet your needs. This is the beauty why cash is king, is always king. Doesn't mean cash is king for the long term. Doesn't mean cash is king for growth. It's absolutely not. But cash is king for market chaos. And I caution people all the time. They start getting cocky. The markets go up. They start thinking, oh, I can deal with this. I can deal with this. I can deal with the downside. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. I'm telling you, man, I've been around a long time. The market's going down. When it's theoretical, it's fine. When it's reality and you look at your portfolio and you're getting hammered, it's freaking scary, especially if you're retired. I'm just telling you right now. So that's kind of like, what's his name? Bernstein says, look, if you've won the game, stop playing, i.e., why take the risk if you don't need to? That's what I tell people all the time. Like, look, people are like, should I be more in stocks? I'm like, why? If you have if you're okay with the risk, by all means. I'm going to be in stocks. I believe in stocks. I don't believe in bonds. But I'm still going to have 4 years of cash on the side once I retire, simply because I don't want to be selling when the portfolio is down 50%. That makes no sense at all. That's doomsday scenario. So people all the time say, oh, I'm going to leave 2 years cash. I don't think that's the way to go. And right now, I think we're seeing it for sure that 2 years cash is inefficient, or insufficient, I should say, to give you a reprieve from the market chaos that is always coming, will forever come. There will always be a reason to be nervous, always, everywhere. It will never stop. And because of that, you've got to have the cash on the side to do it. All right, hope this helps. We'll do some whiteboards on this later. We'll see you.